Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back to Martin's Aquatics, and straight away I will address the elephant in the room. You'll see the screen-matic is back on the pond, and the whole purpose of this video is to explain why I've done that. So I did and still have running a Nexus 220, but my water this summer is just not great. Even with a brand new UV, there's a tinge to the water, and there's a lot of fines in the water. And then every couple of days I'm having to clean the Nexus because it's choked up with this green algae. And I need to clean it now, so I can go and show you in a minute what the algae's like. Now, in connecting up a new pump and the screen-matic, I needed to use my switch box again. So I've rewired all the switch box, and at the same time I've put the float switch back on the mains again. So I've been running without a float switch for quite a while. Now, for those that don't know, what a float switch does is, if one of the pipes from one of the pumps fails above pond level, so maybe at the UV or maybe at the Nexus, and starts pouring out water, the float switch, once it drops about, in my case, about 2 foot the water level, once the water level drops about 1 foot to 2 feet, the float switch will turn the mains off, stopping the pond from fully draining and obviously losing my fish. So it is important to have the float switch on a pump fed system. It doesn't happen on a gravity system, but it can happen on a pump fed system. So we have the screen-matic, new wiring for the float switch and the switch box, and the Nexus. So let me just pause here, and then we'll go and have a look at the Nexus. Here's the Nexus. It's not really at the top yet, so it's not saying it's ready for a clean, and to be honest, I might give it another day. But this is what I'm talking about, this green algae. I've never had this before, and I've had this Nexus 4 years now, and I think it's something to do with the weather we're having in the UK this year. Day after day of hot sun, no respite in the weather, and no days of overcast. We were overcast yesterday, but that's probably the only day in 3 weeks that it's been like that. So the UV is not dealing with this algae. It's horrible stuff. It's really slimy and horrible. So yeah, that tends to clog up the Nexus quite quickly. Thinking about it, I will get rid of it. And as a result, the water, I mean, that sturgeon is on the bottom, we can see it, but normally the water is crystal clear and we'll be able to see it clearly. And as you can see, there's like a slight mist in the water. I don't know how to describe it really. And on the surface in the corners there's little bits of green algae. Now, for the past 4 years, one of these Algae Master 55 watt UVs has coped perfectly fine with the pond. So why it's not doing it this year, I don't know. I went to my local pond shop, Kings Lynn Koi. I was thinking about getting something to put in the water for the algae, and to be honest, they talked me out of it, because they said a lot of people's ponds are like this year. Now, it may be that I haven't got a Nexus, a drum and because I've got a Nexus and the Nexus isn't able to get the fine particles out the water, which is what I'm hoping the Screenmatic will do. But the Screenmatic is not running at full strength at the minute because the sensor was broken, so I've ordered a new sensor. Should be here Thursday, and then hopefully we can make inroads on this water clarity. Just show you the wiring I've done today. So this is the mains line to the switch box, and as you can see it's got this junction. So that's the main line in, that's the main line out, and this line at the bottom here is the switch, the float switch, and this will turn the electrics off should one of the pumps start leaking and I start losing water. So there's my switch box. I'm using 3 of the switches, pump 1, pump 2 and the Screenmatic. Although I don't know why I've got that turned on because the Screenmatic's not actually working. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. I shall end this video here and I will catch you in the next one.